Hi and welcome everyone to another video on my channel. My name is Denis and today I'm going to show you a wildcard draft for Game Week 4 of Fantasy Premier League. Now, if you enjoy my content, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, but now let's see the team. Okay, so as I said before, today I want to show you a wildcard draft for Game Week 4 of Fantasy Premier League. Now, if your team really needs a wildcard, only you can really know that, but obviously we had a lot of injury. Maybe you bought players like Sar, maybe you have other problems into your team, maybe you have enough of players like Watkins, Wirtz, Rogers. So I totally understand if you want to use your wildcard. I tried here to make a team. Obviously it really depends also on your strategy going forward, because today I tried to make a wildcard draft who's going to work nicely also if you want to bench boost in Game Week 5, if you want to use your free in Game Week 6. So it really depends what chips are you going to use in the near future. But again, hopefully this wildcard is going to be helpful for all of you. Now, as you can see from the screen, I have 0.8 millions in the bank, so definitely you can make some upgrades if you want to. If we move a little bit down, so you can see all the team. Now, this is my wildcard draft, what you see here on the screen. I'm going to talk a little bit about each position. Now, obviously in goal, I have Raya and Dubravka. Dubravka, a pretty obvious option for everyone, right? He's the only 4 million playing goalkeeper. So yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. Now, with the goalkeepers, you have other options. But also, if you're wildcarding in 4, bear in mind that Arsenal from Game Week 7, the fixtures are going to get a lot better for a team like Arsenal. So you will want to have some players from Arsenal at that point. So if you're using your wildcard early in Game Week 4, I just think that you should have some players from Arsenal in your team. Now, if you look at the fixtures, Nottingham Forest in Game Week 4 is perfectly fine. Not a problem to play any Arsenal players. Right now, after that, Manchester City and Newcastle, it's not amazing defensive wise, let's be honest. But although Arsenal are the best defense in the Premier League, let's be honest, the free kick they conceded against Liverpool was an amazing strike from Szoboszlai, and Liverpool are the best attacking team in the Premier League. So again, I think that Arsenal are going to keep a lot of clean sheets. The same I said about Arsenal in the early gamings of the season, and they kept a lot of clean sheets. So again, I think that Raya is a nice option. From Game Week 7, as you can see here, the fixtures are going to get a lot better. West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley, and the list goes on. Definitely, if you still want to go for someone like Sanchez, if that move is going to help you upgrade elsewhere, then yeah, just go for a cheaper goalkeeper. There are other options. You could go for Henderson from Crystal Palace. You can go for Vicario from Spurs. You could even go for someone like Alisson. But again, we're going to discuss about these picks in a minute. Now, in defense, as you can see, for Game Week 4, I have 2 players from Crystal Palace. Obviously, the fixture is amazing against Sunderland. Now, I'm not expecting Crystal Palace to destroy Sunderland or something like that. But the fixture is at home. I think that Crystal Palace are a decent defense. Lacroix is good for defensive contributions. Munoz is a really exciting option. I wish I had him into my team from this game week. And also the fixtures for Crystal Palace are really turning. Sunderland, West Ham, then Liverpool is not amazing, but Everton, Bournemouth, Arsenal, Brentford, overall the fixtures are going to be decent. Now, definitely you will not want to play double Crystal Palace defense every gaming, but that's why we have other options here. Now, if we talk a little bit about Virgil van Dijk, yes, he's 6 millions. Yes, there are other options there. You could go for someone like Anuary. You could go for someone like Cucurella from Chelsea, who also just scored for Spain in the international game. So again, there are a lot of good options. You could go for someone like Gabriel and with Alisson in goal. But I just think that the next 2 fixtures for Liverpool are good. They are a good defense, although they looked a little bit shaky at the back in the first 2 games of the season. They kept a clean sheet against Arsenal. I think that Liverpool are going to improve. That was my feeling all along. The fixtures, as I said before, in the next 2 are decent. Burnley, Everton, I could see some clean sheets. Then the fixtures are not amazing, but they are not horrible if you know what I mean. So Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Man United, Brentford, Aston Villa at home. Would you really be so upset to play Virgil van Dijk in those fixtures? I don't think so. And after that, if you look at the fixtures from Game Week 11, from Game Week 12 onwards, the fixtures are going to get even better for Liverpool. So definitely Virgil van Dijk is a long-term pick, not a short-term pick or something like that. It's a player you're just going to pick and keep him into your team for a long period of time. So that's why he's here. Now, my other defenders are Romero, Goodmanson. Now here, as you saw before, I have 0.8 millions in the bank. It really depends how much money do you want to have after using your wildcard. If you want to plan to make some moves, if you want to do that, you can just go for someone like Van de Ven and save the 0.5 millions from Romero. But I just think that Again, the fixtures are decent for Spurs. If we take a look at the list, West Ham, Brighton, Wolverhampton, Leeds, Aston Villa, Everton, Chelsea, a decent run of fixture for Spurs. They are improving also this season compared to last season. And also Romero is really good for defensive contributions. He has a little bit of an attacking threat. So yeah, definitely here in this spot, you can have other players. You can have players like Senesi. You can have players like Anderson. Depending if you're going to use your bench boost in Game Week 5. If you want to use your bench boost in Game Week 5, someone like Anderson could be good. If you don't want to use your bench boost, someone like Senesi long term, I think that is great for the defensive contributions. Also, we need to see how Bournemouth are going to line up because they just signed some center backs. At the moment, I think that Senesi is going to keep his place, but let's be cautious about that also. And also, Gudmundsson, just a 4 million defender. We need to see if he's going to be fit. But again, here you have other players like Reinildo, Esteve, Rodon from Leeds. So just pick a 4 million defender who you're happy having on your bench and also on your bench boost, obviously, because as you can see, Leeds are going to play against Wolverhampton in Game Week 5, so that's a decent opportunity to use your bench boost. Esteve, if you're going to go for a Burnley defender, is going to play against Nottingham Forest. So bear in mind those moves when making your moves, obviously. Now, if we talk a little bit about the midfield, in this team I have Mohamed Salah. Now, again, I understand that a lot of people probably are really upset with Mohamed Salah. He wasn't amazing, let's be honest, in the first 3 game weeks of the season. I mean, he just blanked against Arsenal, but it's the toughest game Liverpool are going to have all season. I still think that Mohamed Salah is going to be a great pick for FPL and for Liverpool in general. If I would wildcard in Game Week 4, I think that I would go for Salah just because of the fixtures, Burnley and Everton, instead of going for someone like Haaland. But I totally understand. If you want to go for both of them, that's perfectly fine. If you just want to go for Haaland, that's again perfectly fine. But I will want to have him in Game Week 4 at least for the captaincy. That's my perspective. Semenyo, Xavi Simons, Reinders and Elliott. Let's talk a little bit about the obvious picks. So Semenyo, again, a really reliable option who's going to get a lot of minutes going forward. The fixtures for Bournemouth are decent. Brighton, Newcastle, Leeds, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest and Manchester City in Game Week 10. So not amazing that game week in particular, but Semenyo is a nice option. Again, I'm not expecting him to score 2 goals every game week, but at that price, to be honest with you, there aren't a lot of good options. Xavi Simons is more of a punt. 7 millions, I think that he has the potential to be a great option. I see him as an alternative to someone like Wirtz. I think that they are similar profile players. Now, again, I think that he's going to get a lot of good minutes for Spurs. I think that they signed him obviously to play him. That's why he's into my team. I think that I prefer him to someone like Johnson, to someone like Kudus, to someone like Richarlison in particular. He has the opportunities. Probably he's going to be also on some set pieces for Spurs. So again, that's bad for us Pedro Porro owners, but we're going to see what's going to happen in the future. I just think that Xavi Simons is going to go straight into the team. But again, if you want a player like Bruno Fernandes, if you want a player like Wirtz there, you can do that. Again, if I would wildcard in Game Week 4, I think that Xavi would be into my team. And my 2 cheap midfielders are Reinders and Elliott. Now with Reinders, I don't really need to talk too much about him. I think that he's a great option. Again, the fixtures in the next 2, Man United, Arsenal, are not amazing, but from Game Week 10, from Game Week 11, 12, you're going to want some Manchester City players into your team. And again, at that price, really, he's a really good enabler. As I said before, a lot of times, I don't think that he's going to score 10 points every game week, but if you need to play him, I think that is a good option. And my last midfielder is more of a punt for me. Harvey Elliott from Aston Villa. Again, you know that I'm a Liverpool fan. I really like Elliott as a player. I think that he's going to be a fantastic signing from Aston Villa, but clearly this is more of a punt for my soul. For me, I think that is going to be a great option. Also, if you're going to bench boost in Game Week 5, Elliott is going to play against Sunderland. So the fixtures are decent for Aston Villa. Let's be honest, I think that with the signings of Sancho, of Elliott, they are going to play a lot better. Maybe that's going to benefit Watkins a little bit, hopefully for us, the owners. I just think that Elliott, from what I saw from a lot of Aston Villa fans, Elliott is looking like he's going to go straight into that 11. Now, is he going to play 90 minutes every game week? Probably not. Is he going to start against Everton away? My opinion is that he's not going to start against Everton away, but that's why he's on the bench on this team, as you can see here. And I think that from Game Week 5, he's going to start, hopefully, against Sunderland. Now, again, he is more of a punt, but at that price, I just think that he's going to be a great option. Again, if we just move here, by the way, this is the Fantasy Football Hub app. If you want to play with it, there's a big discount at the moment, 50%. You have the links in my description. But let's just try to see the other midfielders. Let's put under 6.6. So there are a lot of good midfielders options at the moment. Now again, not specifically some players I would go for, Dango, Minte, and also with Reinders and Elliot, you're not going to play these players every gaming, so you're going to rotate them. Obviously, you have someone like Njae from Everton, you can go for someone like Grealish, but I just don't really like the fixtures for Everton, especially in Game Week 5 if you're bench boosting, playing against Liverpool away. Overall, the fixtures are not that bad. Playing against City, Spurs, Liverpool, Villa is not amazing, but overall the fixtures are decent. Someone like Anderson from Nottingham Forest, of course, remains a good option for defensive contributions. Also, although he got 11 in the first 3 game weeks, was really unlucky for the owners. Someone like Rice from Arsenal could be an option. As I said before, Kudus, Tielemans, someone like Enzo again from Chelsea could be a nice option, depending how much time Palmer is going to be out. Maybe Enzo is going to be on penalties, although I'm not 100% sure about that. Again, João Pedro could share the penalties with Enzo Fernandez, so it's not 100% clear that Enzo is the first penalty taker from Chelsea, and also Palmer probably is going to be back for Game Week 4, so he's their designed penalty taker. Someone like Dewsbury Hall again from Everton, 5 millions, he's really great value, and I think that he's going to be a great option, so definitely you don't need to go with the midfielders I gone. Also, another option I like is Paqueta from West Ham. So the fixtures are not amazing from West Ham: Spurs, Crystal Palace, Everton, Arsenal, Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, but they are going to get a little bit better in the future. He is on penalties, he's going to stay at West Ham, so all the sagas are gone, the transfer market is closed. I think that he's a great option at that price. Also 5.9 millions, more of a pick like Bruno Fernandes if you want to. Personally, I would go for someone like Elliot for the upside, but Paqueta again definitely is going to be a decent option. If you just want a defensive contribution monster, you can just go for someone like Cancedo. Again, maybe he's going to chip with some assists, with some goals, but pretty much these are the options in midfield. I would not go for someone like Sarr from Spurs at the moment because Xavi Simons just signed. He's going to play as a number 10. So I'm really excited about Xavi Simons and what he could bring to FPL and Premier League in general. In attack, I've gone with Mateta, Gyökeres, João Pedro. Straightforward, Mateta playing against Sunderland at home. I know that not a lot of people maybe are favoring someone like Mateta, but he has the fixture. He is nailed to play 90 minutes probably every gaming. He's also on penalties. Crystal Palace definitely are going to miss some creativity from players like Eze, who just transferred to Arsenal, and from someone like Ismail Assar, who apparently is injured at the moment. We need to see what Glasner is going to say. Gyökeres, as I said before, for Raya, I think that the fixtures for Arsenal obviously are going to get better from Game Week 7 onwards, so I would just have him into my wildcard draft if you use your wildcard, obviously. Now again, are there better options for the next 3 game weeks? Probably. Nottingham Forest, Manchester City and Newcastle are not the easiest fixtures for someone like Gyökeres, but he's on penalties while Saka is injured. He's their number 9, so you're just going to have Gyökeres when the fixtures are going to turn from Arsenal. And also my last forward but not the least is João Pedro from Chelsea. So a lot of discussions about João Pedro this season. His ownership is huge. I just think that he's going to be a great option. If I would wildcard in Game Week 4, he would be in my team, especially now that Chelsea are going to be without Jackson, who transferred to Bayern Munich, and Delap is injured at the moment, so no real harm for João Pedro's minutes. I think that he's going to play close to 90 minutes every gaming, so he's just looking like a better option than he was at the beginning of the season. The fixtures are decent for Chelsea: Brentford, Man United, Brighton, Liverpool, Forest, Sunderland, Spurs. So the fixtures are mixed but decent, and he is great value at that price, even now at 7.7 million. So again, this is how I would wildcard something like this if I would be using the chip, obviously, in Game Week 4. Now, again, as I talked before, if you're planning to bench boost in Game Week 5, I just want to show you how this team would look like. Now, obviously, here probably I would just play someone like Virgil van Dijk here, probably Semenyo instead of someone like Reinders, and this is how your bench boost would look like in Game Week 5. Now, Raya against Manchester City is not amazing, but as I said a lot of times this season, Arsenal are the best defense in the Premier League. They could keep a clean sheet against anyone, and he is just a goalkeeper after all. So Virgil van Dijk, Munoz, Romero with decent fixtures, Mohamed Salah, Elliot, Xavi Simons, Semenyo with decent fixtures. Hopefully Elliot is going to start this game if you're going to pick him. Mateta, Gyökeres, João Pedro. So for Arsenal, the fixture is not great. Obviously, you have Raya, Gyökeres and Ryan Diers in this game, Arsenal, Manchester City. But overall, your bench boost would be Dubravka against Nottingham Forest, which is decent. Now, again, he is a Burnley defender, so it's not like I'm expecting 100% Burnley to keep a clean sheet against Nottingham Forest, but the fixture is decent if you want to bench boost. Obviously, with a Burnley goalkeeper, you can upgrade Dubravka if you want to, but again, I don't really see a lot of reasoning to do that. Ryan Diers against Arsenal away is not amazing, but he's 5.7 million, so if he's going to get 2, 3, 4, 5 points, that's good on your bench boost. Lacroix and Goodmanson against West Ham away and Wolverhampton away. So I think that this is how something like a bench boost for Game Week 5 if you want to use that. And obviously, if we go to Game Week 6, the team would not look horrible or something like that. If you want to use your fleet in Game Week 6, definitely you can do that for obviously to bring players like Haaland. But if you don't have your fleet, if you use it in Game Week 3 or 2, again, this team is not looking really bad for even without using your fleet. Now, again, here you can bench someone like Elliott, you can play someone like Reinders against Burnley at home, you can play someone like Goodmanson if you want instead of Munoz against Liverpool. Overall, the team I think looks pretty balanced for the upcoming game weeks, even if you're going to free it, even if you're going to use your bench boost. But yeah, it is really team dependent, but it really depends on your strategy, on your future plans with the chips when you want to use them, obviously. So again, please let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Let me know if you're using your wildcard, if you're using a chip this game week, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'm going to see you next time. Thank you.
Bag pura lor, când mă întreabă oamenii de unde sunt, le zic de